We are live.
Ravens, G and Joe, one third of the Cybermen. Sam, the mission behind the technique.
We are live, guys. I'm Joe, one third of the Cybernerds.
And I'm Revenue GS.
I'm Sam, Mr. Blitztech.
And this is the Godzilla 2014 movie review. Now, before we get to anything else, Godzilla!
Fam.
Godzilla!
No. Listen, fam.
Godzilla!
Listen. Me and you watch the thing.
You said me.
Come on, fam.
You
You
said
gotta
me.
say it
Alright,
properly.
guys.
You gotta say it properly.
Guys, before we get to the
funny,
review,
thing, you know.
I've got two things to tell you. One, if you haven't already, we're on a road to 100k subscribers. So hit the subscribe button right here. Do it now. 3, 2, 1. Blow! Now, if subscribing and pressing the notification bell so you get notified every time we drop a video, if that's not enough, hit this button up here. This will take you to the secret society of the Cybernerds, much like the Monarch program in the Godzilla movies. There, you can be in a deeper part of the conversation. Anyway, other than that, let's get to the spoiler part. This is a spoiler review as well. So
I just you know what,
what happened?
You gotta say the thing properly, fam.
Fam, relax.
No, you know what? Because we went through it last. What was it? What's the actor?
Ken Watanabe.
How did you say it, fam?
Fam, you said how he said it.
Godzilla.
Fam,
Like, there's no z.
man's not a bilingualist, innit? So you get me? Man's just saying the thing how I say the thing, fam.
This is the guy who's been doing Spanish for how long?
Fam.
Come on. There's no Z, fam. Like, the thing is, it's just so, it's pure, fam. Like, the way man goes, Godzilla. Like, not Godzilla. Like, it's dead, fam. Like, that's just me. Do your thing. You're the Godzilla.
Alright, so how do you feel about this movie, Sam?
This movie, so as a whole, even though the name Godzilla, for me personally, I don't feel like I got enough Godzilla. However, I still feel it's a good movie because the characters that are in it are well developed. You care for them. The world that they're in, the war that's happening, it's all mad. And when you do get Godzilla,
You get Godzilla. Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna dive on that. Yo, relax.
No, because what I have to say kind of come back to
I'm coming back on what you're saying. Yeah, relax. Yeah.
Okay. I'm relaxed.
All right, cool. So basically, I feel the same way about you do. I feel like this is a Godzilla movie in name more than in what it actually is. But I also feel like that in this movie they take the traditional, old school Japanese way of doing monster movies where they pepper it in. They show you, they take it away. They show you, they take it away. They show it in the background and take it away. And then the third act is just... Do you know what I'm saying? But when you get to like kind of American cinema viewers and stuff like that, we need the thing peppered the whole way through. Do you get what I'm saying? So even for me, as a hardcore Godzilla fan, I really enjoy this movie, but I definitely feel like they spend way too much time on human characters, what the humans are doing, the humans' effect on the battle, when all I want to see is Godzilla doing crud 24/7 hours. Get me? So what you saying?
Okay, so I did a little bit of research on this whole Godzilla monster thing. Very little research, but it just makes sense to me. Because remember, I asked you when this movie came out, when we was watching it, and it was like, it makes sense. It's almost like a reboot. Like, okay, we start this thing all over again, where if I don't know anything about Godzilla,
That's what it was. It is a reboot.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know. Like remember the questions I was asking you about, like, when did this movie come out? So I can put the puzzle together. Now, fast forward, this movie came out in 2014. It's almost 2020 right now. So to me, it makes a lot more sense because of the knowledge, which I'm pretty sure till this day is a little bit more than before, but it's still minimal. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it makes sense you start from that point and not give me as much Godzilla because you're trying to give me the perspective of the people that are dealing with it. the first signs of that. You didn't even know he was a Godzilla. It was just like signs, a scale, signals. You know what I'm saying? So until they come across the people that actually know who they're dealing with, you know what I'm saying? So to me, this is the perfect time to start it, because once we get everything, and guess what? We got a new movie coming up. Once you get everything and go back, even if when you tie in King Kong, now it makes a lot more sense to me. Even though King Kong was prior to Godzilla, to me it makes a lot more sense now.
The reason I disagree with that as a whole is because, yeah, what you're saying is true. They do kind of give you a beginner's guide, like a dummy's guide to what Godzilla is, who they is, but they don't start at the beginning. At the beginning of the movie, they start with, this is the fossil of a Godzilla before Godzilla.
Yeah.
And then they tell you that in 1954 they tried to kill current Godzilla with the Hiroshima bomb, and it didn't work. And that's why I feel like this movie also doesn't do what you're saying well enough, because you're giving us so much backstory about this Godzilla before and what happened there, that bruv, you could have just legitly showed us, like, they show us clips of it in the post credit, in the intro credits, but you could have just built that into the movie properly. And I don't feel like they do that. Like, they explain, oh, these lot were here before us, and they're titans and they're gods and they're Motus and all of that, but at the same time, there's not enough there's not enough monster on screen time.
There isn't. Now, that's what I'm saying, right? Today, present, it makes a lot more sense to me. Now, obviously, you're a lot more plugged in than I am, and Sam. But to me, because of the building from the past, and to me, this is where I think this is a long-term game.
Yeah, but we're judging this movie singularly, bruv. Obviously, it's hard to differentiate because we know there's a movie coming out next week. But when you're watching this movie, not knowing the next movie is King of the Monsters, and there being no movies before it, just watching this movie, in a movie that's titled Godzilla, only get a man for 20 minutes, 25 minutes of screen time of 2 hours and 15 minutes, man is cheated, fam. It should have been like Earth versus Godzilla, or do you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to spin the title where you know what you're getting at, because I felt cheated being like, yo, you're just calling this movie Godzilla,
and we're getting Daniel on the street,
and you're getting Daniel on the street, and even in the 1999 Godzilla movie,
this is what I'm about to say. How many screen times man get?
And in the 1990 Godzilla movie called Godzilla, you're getting man on screen hour and a half, G.
Now
that there is an issue, fam.
No.
Like, that's misleading when it's coming to marketing and movie making, fam.
I get what you're saying, but to me, obviously, with the whole like Marvel Avengers stuff, so man's already plugged into like in from 2014 to 2024. Will you be able to tie everything? Because that's what I'm getting.
But we're not talking about that. We're not talking about a tied scene. We're talking about the movie. We're talking about just this Godzilla movie.
No, but you got to think about it. We're reviewing this movie right now. I'm 2019 watching this movie with everything I've got.
You've got nothing.
That makes it even worse.
Like, you've got nothing.
No, because now I'm thinking of like King Kong and all the kaiju stuff.
No. You've got no more. Since this movie came out in 2014, you've got nothing. The only thing that loosely connects this movie to the Kong movie is the company Monarch. That's, for me personally, that's not
how I feel.
Yeah, but that's fine, innit? But I'm just trying to get your views on this movie, not on the Monster Cinematic Universe. Like, how do you feel about this movie?
But this is what I'm saying. Because we watched this movie very recent, because I have knowledge of other stuff. That's how I'm taking things, because of the knowledge I have of other movies.
How do you feel about this movie?
This movie is legit.
All right.
But if I was to review this movie today without the knowledge of a movie, it wouldn't be as high as it is today.
So you're giving this movie more points because there's a next movie coming out. That doesn't make sense.
And watching,
You haven't seen that movie though.
and the understanding, because I'm
the
not
Kong movie's not affecting us.
and because I'm not as plugged in, but because I've watched other movies, it's plugging me even more. Now I could be running with my mind forward because obviously man loves movies, but to me it only makes sense why you would be. This is a longevity game movie. I understand what you're saying.
I
Base
don't
this
understand what
movie-
you're saying.
Like
I'm asking
review
you to
this
check-
movie on a single movie, but I'm already compilating other movies like monster movies relating to this. That's where I'm coming from.
For me, I just feel like there's movies that have done this before, showed us loads of monster fighting, loads of like the thing you come to see, and like this movie is good. Like I said, I like the character development. I like what they do with the movie. Like the movie is shot really well, but I just come to see Godzilla, and like I said, towards the end of the movie, that's what you get him. Nah, come on, man. Like there's movies that have come out like I said prior to this. Movies are based around the same thing, and they show you what you came to see. Like I don't want to put them in the same boat, but like something like Pacific Rim, story, monster fighting. Something like Godzilla, story, monster on human fighting or whatever have you.
And this is one of the things. This is one of the things I want to jump to you on the end.
I think this is a longevity game.
Yeah, but
Fam,
That's where I'm coming
you don't
from.
get to longevity if you don't provide good products right now. Now, also, Sam, I 100% agree with you. And like you're saying, I'm not putting Godzilla and Pacific Rim on the same level. But what I expect from Godzilla that I don't expect from Pacific Rim is a like a higher level of understanding, a higher level of realism. Do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like in this movie, it does provide those two things, but it also misses out on the thing that Pacific Rim gets so right. That we need to see big monsters slapping each other up. Do you know what I'm saying? And this movie fundamentally fails on that, except for in the third act. In the third act, it delivers on that heavy, but you need that peppered up all the way out through the movie. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think like this is where that movie misses the mark. But I love one of the things you said, that when it comes to directing, cinematography, even script, that this movie is super legit. Like if you didn't call this movie Godzilla and named it something else like The Day the World Found Out About, do you know what I'm saying? You'd be like, this movie is sick. But because you name this movie Godzilla, and then all you're doing is waiting for Godzilla, it messes up. You know what I'm saying? It messes up your feelings towards the movie instead of like, you know what I'm saying, basing it around something else like the actual family that you're based around. You know what I'm saying? So
No.
I feel like it's good, but it's not good. Like it's mad.
No, I completely agree with what you said. I think we're saying the same thing, but I'm just coming from a different perspective. Because I'm already expecting the second movie, especially watching Godzilla. And I think this is where the difference comes across. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, if we was to review this movie a week when this movie came out, we'd all be in the same place. But because 2019 and a new movie coming out, and I already watched King Kong, I'm a different place. We're saying the same thing. Fam, it's still the same. It's pretty much the same thing we're saying, just in a different perspective.
No, it's not.
I was about to say, when I
It
watch
is,
this movie
because
then,
I
watch this
agree
movie
exactly what you're
now,
saying.
I'm like, for me, it's still the same thing. Isn't it? Like
You can talk about it as in the first time the movie came. Fam, like
I'm not going to.
we now have more. Think about it. Once you have more knowledge of what's going on,
Same, like,
you can be like,
legit,
oh,
legit.
now you can add more like substance into the new movie. That's the way I see it.
If it's standalone or with something, if a movie's bad and then the next one is good, that movie's still gonna be bad.
But
no matter how much you're
the
basing it
fact
off.
is, the movie's not bad. The only thing you guys are complaining about because you saw less.
But
But
Godzilla.
here's the
And then
thing.
tell me I have to wait till the next
But,
movie to get more
here's the thing.
Godzilla.
But here's the thing. But this is what I'm talking about: longevity. Because guess what? If you complain now,
Yeah.
and 2 years from now you get, so in a week from now you get a new movie, and 2 years from now you get another movie. You put every single movie together, you be like, oh, that is called longevity, fam. And
What
this
if
is
the
what
next
I'm
one's bad
coming
then?
from.
What if the next one's bad?
This is what I'm
No,
coming.
no,
and this is what I'm saying. If we was to review this movie today, the first time it came, I would agree with you.
No,
But it's
I
been
disagree.
years, so to me, it seems like these man's got a plan Because I understand what you're saying.
No. I
Man
disagree with what
barely
you're
saw
saying.
King Kong. Man saw his back. Man saw something. Then Tutu's third act. Now you're seeing flames. Because we was talking about this. To me, it seems like these men had a long plan to deliver this movie.
No.
Plan.
I
deliver
disagree.
now.
I disagree with what he's saying because he's saying if the first movie is so-so and the second movie is lit and the third movie is lit, it makes the first movie better or
We've
gives
seen
you
this happen
or
before.
gives you a deeper understanding of the first movie.
We've seen this happen before.
It's not all. It doesn't always happen
It
like
adds
that.
value to the first movie
Can
that
I
you
finish?
didn't like as much.
Can I get off what I'm saying? That doesn't always that doesn't always happen like that. Now, like a good scenario for this is Captain America. In Captain America 1, like there's bare things that happen. Like Bucky falls off the thing and he makes a relationship with Peggy. Blah blah blah. That never get paid off in that movie, but get paid off in number 2, 3, and Avengers Endgame. Yeah, there's certain things like none of those ties are in the Godzilla movie. There's nothing that they like, oh, they never allude to, oh, there's 20 other monsters. They never allude to there's this and this. They say, there's Godzilla, and we just found out about these two monsters here. That's the universe.
Is that not a connection?
Let me finish. In this movie, no, that's one movie, they're talking about Godzilla that they knew about, and these two other monsters that they never knew about. That is isolated. That's an isolated incident. They're not saying that, oh, we found 20 eggs and only one hatched. Do you know what I'm saying? Because then you're like, when in the next movie there's 17 monsters,
Then you know when.
you're like, oh, this is the 17. Like the threads to connect to the next movie, like the outer threads, the thing that make a connective universe work are not in this original Godzilla movie. And the thing is, in the second movie, they're gonna have all of those things there, and then you'll go back to the Godzilla movie and being like, well, instead of like Captain America where it's like, oh, I see where they did that, there's gonna be like, Godzilla, this was now a missed opportunity here. This was a missed opportunity here because you never mentioned those things in the first one. Because when they made Godzilla 1, in my mind, I don't even think they might have known they were making a Godzilla 2, but they didn't know Godzilla 2 was going to be King of the Monsters. Where when they made Captain America 1, they probably was like, Bucky's coming back in number 2, even before the Russo brothers signed on to that. And then they peppered the thing. So that's where I think the big issue is like, there's not story threads in Godzilla 1 that you can see linking into number 2.
Until you see the new movie, don't be surprised if there's a link and you'll be like, oh, number 1 makes sense. This is exactly what I'm saying, fam. This is exactly what I'm saying. Exactly what you just said.
That's not
You're
what you said.
disagreeing.
No, that's not what you said.
Fam, but that's what I'm saying.
No, bro,
that's what I'm saying.
You're making presumptions into the future.
Because that's exactly what they've been doing with the other movies. That's what I'm saying.
They've not been doing that in Godzilla.
Listen, what I'm saying.
They've not been doing that in Godzilla.
Don't be surprised.
What other movies did they do that in?
Don't be surprised.
You said they've been doing that in other movies.
Don't be
What movies have they been
surprised.
doing
Don't
that
be
in?
surprised.
I'm asking you a question.
This is what I said.
You said in other movies they've been doing that. What other movies have they been doing?
I'm talking about the Avengers.
Avengers and Godzilla aren't in the same studios.
They're not in the same studios. But guess what? But this is where I'm coming from.
Godzilla and Marvel ain't made in the same studios.
Alright, cool. Don't be surprised when you watch this movie, it ties back to the first one. You'll be like, oh, okay, now stuff makes sense.
Guys, jump in the comment section below and let us know. Do you think that you can say that in the future there's going to be things that happen that affect this movie?
You can learn from
that
other
we haven't
studios.
Seen? Can you guarantee that people are learning from other studios
Of course.
when we clearly see that there's studios?
If someone
not
knows how
learning
to learn
from other
how
studios,
to learn, why wouldn't you like how to tie things? I mean, that's those vibe I'm getting.
Guys, let us know what the vibe you're getting is. Anyway,
you can have a brethren that works in different studios. You man chop it up and you kind of bring the idea to pepper up the project that you're doing. But guess what? I guess we have to see the next movie.
Yeah, guys, let us know if you have to see the next movie to review the first movie also. Drop that in the comment section below. Anyway, appreciate you watching our Godzilla review. I'm Joe, 1/3 of the Cyber Nerds.
I'm Raven, yeah.
I'm Sam, Mr. Blitztech.
And we'll see you on the next movie review.
Godzilla!
You know this is the #1 place for nerdy content. Where did you go? It's the Cyber Nerds. Guys, we've got plenty of videos, plenty of reactions, plenty of Pokemons. Thank you very much. And hang around. Enjoy yourselves. Plenty of videos. I don't know what this guy is doing right now. What are you doing, Charmander?